Okay, so there are so many elements to the show. What was your first reaction or initial thoughts when you read the script for Murderbot?
I was so impressed with the way that Paul and Chris Weitz, who wrote this and adapted it from Martha Wells' novels, were able to say so much about these characters so quickly. You just get into this world and you immediately start to understand it, and that's tricky because you're talking about something that's far, far in the future. The world looks very different than it does now, but it's very similar in other ways. I was just so impressed, and for the character that I have the great honor of getting to play, Garathan, as soon as I started turning the pages and seeing what his journey was going to be, I was like, I've never gotten to do anything like this.
Well, that's what's so fascinating about these characters. So what drew you to playing Garathan, and how did you even bring his complicated emotions to life? Like, how do you begin that process?
Well, there's two things. First is just the luck of somebody saying, here's this role we would love for you to play. Because I had worked with Chris of the brothers, Paul and Chris Weitz, on a film, and Chris said, oh my gosh, I'm working on something and I think you're perfect for this role. And I was able to really tap into, personally, as David, this heightened anxiety and sense of fear that I get sometimes about going into situations where I can't tell the difference between what's my instinct and what's fear.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's such a really important thing for us as humans to try and differentiate between what is actual really listening to my gut and what is just my fears about stuff. And the rest of the team is like, Garathan, this is just you're being oversensitive, you're being fearful. And it's a great place to work from as an actor. You're trying to convince everyone there's danger, and everyone's going, we're fine.
You're fine.
And guess what? I'm right.
Exactly. It's like validation, right? You're like, I knew it. I knew it all along.
I knew something was wrong with that thing.
What do you think this story says about humanity?
The incredible, one of the many incredible themes in Martha Wells' books, the world that she created with the Murderbot Diaries, is that exact question. And I wish I could distill it down to a simple answer, but it's something I think about a lot. And when you're watching the show and as you see the events unfold, Murderbot, the SEC unit, and the way that its curiosity, the way that its willingness, openness at times to try to understand what's going on with these very strange beings that it's on this adventure with, in many ways reflects a kind of ideal humanity that some of the actual humans in the story don't possess. So what does that mean? It's certainly an important question to be asking, especially as we're on the cusp of technology
AI
just
and all of that. I mean, and since the show kind of explores AI and its impact, if you could invent, speaking of AI and futuristic, if you could invent any futuristic tech right now, what would it be? What would it do? What do you think? Why?
I have the hardest time deciding what to order on Postmates when it's time to order dinner, and when I'm trying to make a decision about where to go for dinner, or when I'm trying to make a decision about what to make for dinner. I don't make very much dinners, unfortunately, these days. I'm very busy. So when I'm trying to decide what I want for dinner, I waste so much time thinking about it. What I need is this new AI, this friend, this companion unit that is going to be able to run like some kind of test on my system, go, oh, what you need right now, what's going to make you feel the best is Thai food, we're going to get you a papaya salad, you're going to get this in it. And then I just
that's actually that's a really good. That's a really good one. We need to get this started. You're going to have to figure
someone out there is watching this.
Yeah, and they're going to listen and they're going to say, you know what, that's a really good app.
I want 10%.
I said it first. He said it first. David said it first here on California Live. Okay, so there's a line that Murderbot just wants to be left alone and binge soap operas. So when no one's watching, what does David like to binge watch?
I mean, I do get the kids involved when they can. My favorite comfort food as far as shows go, it has been The Great Pottery Throwdown, which is a wonderful British series about pottery artists potters who are competing against one another with their weekly challenges. And recently, Love Island USA, season 7.
Okay, you mentioned Chris and Paul Weitz. They're the minds behind Murderbot. You've also worked with legendary filmmakers Nolan, Villeneuve, James Gunn. Have any of them actually inspired you to be behind the camera? Your face says that.
That's a really interesting question. I don't know if they've inspired me to get behind the camera. They've probably intimidated me about getting behind the camera, because when I watch people like Paul and Chris Weitz, or when I watch James Gunn in action, whose Superman is about to come out, I'm so excited about that movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. These people are able to juggle and communicate with so many different people from so many different departments. They're able to work with actors, and God knows we're the most difficult people to work with. And they've got designers, and they've got technicians, and all form of artists, bringing this whole vision together on such a massive scale. I will say, I am trying. I'm having my directorial debut right now. I'm directing a short segment for the Boulet Brothers' upcoming Holiday of Horror special. It's so far been a very satisfying experience, although I'm like a little...
You're not nervous at all.
Not nervous.
Not nervous at all. Who would think that? You are going to do great. It's going to be amazing.
I'm also acting in it, and I'm also in full prosthetics in it. Oh boy, get ready.
Well, congratulations on that. David, thank you so much for joining me. This was so much fun. Murderbots is so cool.
Fly away.
I know. Ooh, imagine.